Okay, let's dive into this explainer. Welcome, everyone. Today we're going to look at a story that honestly sounds like it was pulled straight out of some bizarre bureaucratic thriller, but I assure you it is entirely 100% real. We're going to examine a massive government accounting glitch, the totally unforgiving nature of automated systems, and most importantly, what you can learn from all this so you don't end up in the exact same nightmare. $20,000. I mean, that is definitely not a small chunk of change. Now, imagine this massive sum is actually a corporate tax refund, but instead of going to a corporation, it's mistakenly sent to an everyday private individual. Just a totally random clerical error by the IRS.
The president, the governor, the mayor, they don't mind asking you to vote for them, but when you need the help, you can't get a hold of nobody. You have to talk to a dang computer.
So I want you to ask yourself right now, what would you do if the IRS accidentally sent you this much money? It's kind of tempting to think about, right? Maybe you think about quietly slipping it into a savings account somewhere, or maybe you just completely panic. But for the man at the center of our explainer today, the answer was incredibly simple and straightforward. He knew it wasn't his, so his immediate reaction was just to give it back. Section 1. The accidental $20,000 windfall.
Let's set the scene of how an ordinary citizen ended up on a direct collision course with a seemingly impenetrable government bureaucracy. Meet Perry Kirby. He's a retired farmer living out in Coopertown, Tennessee. He keeps to himself, lives a nice quiet life on his farm, and as our source notes, he says exactly what he wants. Now, Perry doesn't use computers at all. He actually mentioned that someone got him a computer once, but he really doesn't know how to use it. On top of that, he's a widower, having tragically lost his wife just 18 months ago. So he's navigating life largely on his own right now. Basically, he is the absolute last person who wants or deserves a complicated financial dispute.
Well, when Perry suddenly gets that $20,000 corporate check in the mail, his honest, simple instinct just kicks in. He did the right thing. He tried to give the money back to the IRS. But in this incredibly tragic twist of irony, the very act of trying to return a misdirected check is exactly when his bureaucratic nightmare truly began.
Section 2. Punished for doing right.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the agonizing timeline of Perry's struggle here. This wasn't just some quick mix-up. No, it started 4 whole years ago when he received that accidental check. He tried sending it back, but it was a massive struggle. Then, we see an absolutely crucial piece of documentation. On May 10, 2022, he finally gets a letter from the IRS acknowledging that he received the wrong refund amount. You'd think that would be the end of it, right? Case closed. But no. Fast forward to this year, and the IRS suddenly demands that Perry pay interest on that money. And even worse, they actually seized his entire current tax refund to cover it. Just let the sheer absurdity of that sink in for a second. He tried to return the money, and in response they charged him interest for holding on to it and then kept his rightful tax return. Because of federal privacy laws, the IRS wouldn't even discuss the specifics of his own case with him over the phone. When asked how it felt to have his rightful return taken away after all his honest efforts, Perry admitted it brought him to tears. He literally said, "I cried, it hurt me." He was being financially penalized for a computer glitch that he had absolutely nothing to do with.
You know, Perry tried everything to fix this. He was desperate and completely isolated. He called his son, he called his preacher. He felt like he called the president, the governor, the mayor, anyone who would just listen. But as he put it so perfectly, when you need the help, you can get hold of nobody. He was just hitting brick wall after brick wall, talking to automated machines and getting tangled up in privacy regulations, instead of ever reaching a real human being who could just look at the facts and fix the error.
Section 3. Breaking the bureaucratic loop.
But Perry never gave up. After years of agonizing back and forth on his own, he finally reached out to reporter Hannah McDonald at News Channel 5. Sometimes when it feels like the odds are completely stacked against you and the machine just won't listen, you need an external advocate. Hannah and her team stepped right in to untangle the mess and demand answers directly from the agency. And wouldn't you know it, the moment the media got involved, things finally started moving. The resolution here is such a massive relief. The IRS is expected to close the case, and Perry expects to get his seized tax refund back by the end of the month. It took an incredible amount of persistence and ultimately outside media pressure to finally make the system correct its own accounting error.
Section 4. How to protect yourself. So the crucial point is we can't all just call a local news team every single time we have a tax issue. We need to pivot from Perry's incredible story to some direct, actionable advice on how you can protect yourself if you ever get caught in the gears of the system. And this brilliantly illustrates the exact mechanism built to bypass those automated roadblocks Perry was hitting. If you run into problems with the IRS, this is the tool you absolutely need to know about: the Taxpayer Advocate Service. It's an independent organization that lives within the IRS itself, and its sole purpose is to help taxpayers navigate unresolved problems and systemic issues that standard customer service just can't handle.
To distill all of this down, here are the 2 vital takeaways you really need to remember from this explainer. First, document all communication with the IRS, always. Just like Perry had that May 2022 letter acknowledging the wrong refund amount, having a solid paper trail is your absolute best defense. Second, if you're struggling to handle an issue and you're just hitting walls, use your local Taxpayer Advocate Service as your first step for help. They're literally there to untangle these exact types of messes.
It's a pretty daunting thought, isn't it? Bureaucracies are vast, and let's face it, computers make mistakes. Perry Kirby did the right thing, and he still had to fight for 4 long years. But he advocated for himself, he kept his documentation, and he sought out the right help to finally get his money back. So I'll leave you with this. If the IRS computers made a mistake on your account today, are you prepared to advocate for yourself against the machine? Keep these tools in mind, stay organized, and never give up the fight. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.